The third in line in a John Jackson family legacy, JJ has set some high expectations for himself. While on a not-so-traditional path preparing to start here at SC, JJ got a call that his father suffered from a stroke. With a new perspective on life outside of football, I had a chance to share John Jackson's story about his journey to SC and what it means to create his own legacy. John Jackson III. You are the third of a really unique legacy here at USC with the football program. And you didn't really have a traditional way of starting here. What did you learn about yourself as a person when you were going through your time at a JC?
I definitely learned a lot when it came to as far as, understanding like what my goal was. That was big for me. Seeing, no knock onto it, everybody's there for a different reason, but, just seeing the people that I was surrounded with, I sat next to kids talking, about crazy stuff, and then in my head, I was like, you know what, like, I'm a kid from high school, I don't know, like, it was hard to stay motivated, kid coming out of high school, I had colleges I could have chose from, but knowing that SC was my dream and SC was a place I wanted to be, it made it extremely hard, especially seeing guys like Amon-Ra, one of my closest friends since we were 8 years old. Seeing him on the field do amazing things and I wish I could be there. Not much playing, but just to support him and be with him. It was definitely hard, and it definitely made me mature a lot and made me mature pretty fast. Because during the day, I took 2 classes, so I obviously had a lot of downtime. Now I had a choice: could I be productive during that time, or could I choose to just, joke off, play video games all day? So, I definitely think I matured a lot from that situation, and, it really set me up to be successful here.
And you're going through all that, you're taking the time to set yourself up to be here at USC, the player you want to be, the person you want to be. And then your dad gets a stroke in December. Tell me what went through your mind in that exact moment that you found out.
When I found out, it's always been, he's had, his issues, in the past, and it was just always one of those things like, oh, he'll be fine, like one of those things you just brush off, like, okay, like, this is the same guy, nothing's gonna bother him.
Yeah. So
when I realized, how significant and how serious it was, it definitely made me take a step back, and I was like, oh, like, geez, like, this isn't just, a regular situation. And seeing him in that state, made me even mature even more than before, because, I don't want him the whole time worried about, oh God, I wonder what John's doing.
Yeah.
So, me being able to, really take that time, obviously it's not a good situation, but try to make the most out of it. I think that definitely helped a lot and definitely made me the person I am today.
And he was more than just your role model. I think that's very clear in your guys' relationship. But what role did you know that you had to step into in terms of you and the family? You're the oldest sibling. Mm-hmm. What did you do after that?
I think, I did a lot of things, some things I still joke to my dad about today. One thing about our house is we always fight over who's supposed to take out the trash. It may seem so simple, but my dad's, every day he's like, geez, I'm always the one taking out the trash. He's like, you guys never do anything. Then, the first thing I did, I think, when I got back, and I was like, okay, you know what, you gotta set all that aside, you gotta be the man of the house. I think the first thing I did was take out the trash. And, just that being something so small, but me always, offering my mom help, able to drive my brother and sister to practices while I still get to my workouts. I think, that was definitely a role I had to step into, and definitely something that I really embraced.
In those instances and adversities, a lot of people talk about what they realized they really took advantage of. What do you think you realized you really took advantage of?
One thing I think I took advantage of would be, the opportunity. Talking to Coach Helton, we had a realistic sit down before when I chose to come to SC. He listed some things that I could improve on.
Yeah.
And I really spent that whole period of just working on it so that way it wouldn't become an issue.
Yeah.
And I think, looking back on it, I think that that's one thing that I really truly took advantage of, and grateful that I had the mindset to do it. And also my dad also gave me a plan to do it. So I think that was one thing looking back on, I really think I took advantage of and really sprung me to get to where I am.
Yeah. And when you are not only following the footsteps of one person, but two, sometimes it's difficult to build your own legacy. Off of the field, what do you wish people knew about you that makes you JJ the Third?
Yeah, that's a good question. A lot of times people, obviously to their, just given the situation and given who he is, people always come up to me, ask me about him, always come up to me, oh, how's your dad doing? All that's great, and I appreciate it and he loves it, but I feel like, me as a person, I have interest in whether it's photography, music. I love music. I can rattle off however many I even listen to country. So
not country.
Yeah, no. But I think it's definitely something that gets hidden a little bit, given what I choose to walk into. At the same time, I understand, but I think there's more to me than just that, and I want to try to show everybody and that I'm not just here. Yeah, I mean, of course I'm here to play football. That's the number one thing.
Yeah.
I can't wait, but there's more to me than that. And there's more, and my dad obviously did his things, and I do something different than what he did. So my goal is to try to show people that side of me and really get to bring it to light.
So what does JJ do when he's outside of school and off of the football field? What is one thing that if people had to know, what would that be?
I think honestly it'd be video games. I'm a big competitor, and even down to whether it's Amon-Ra or Alex Stadthaus, like we'll play every Sunday. We'll just sit down all day, and whether it's we'll rehab for a little bit and then we'll go straight to video games and just compete. So.
But you're just a normal kid.
Just a normal kid.
At the end of the day.
Always. I love to take pictures. I'll invite some of my friends out and I'll take pictures of them and really shoot them. So different things like that I'm kind of interested in, and I really love it.
Of course. You are part of a legacy. It's something in and of itself to be proud of, but you are building your own pathway. And I want to say thank you for taking the time, and excited to see how you develop yourself as a person off the field.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Thanks.